Good day and welcome, Mr. Simons here. This lesson we're just going to look at the variations, how we test quadratic equation using first principle in exam. So find the derivative f prime x of the following using first principle given fx equals 3x squared. So if fx equals 3x squared, I'm always required to find x plus h. So in the place of x, I put x plus h all squared. Right, if we multiply out x times x squared, x times h times 2 gives me 2xh, and h times h gives me h squared. From there, 3 times x squared, 3x squared, 3 times 2 gives me 6x squared, 3 times h squared, 3h squared. So 1 mark for finding the equation, right? Because I said first principle, I have to solve using f prime x equal limit h tends to 0, fx plus h minus f of x divided by h. 1 mark for the equation. Substitute in 3x squared plus 6x plus 3h squared for fx plus h, and for f of x minus 3x squared. As I said, whatever doesn't contain a h must cancel. So 3x squared minus 3x squared cancel, and you see I'm left with 6xh plus 3h squared over h. Right? So from there, we're always only going to take out, so 1 mark for simplification, we're always only going to take out h and h only as a common factor. That is so that we don't divide by 0. So if I take out h, 6xh divided by h gives me 6x, 3h squared divided by h gives me 3h. H and h cancels, so I'm left with 6x plus 3h, 1 mark for that. And now, because I don't have h as a denominator, I substitute h tends to 0 in. So 3 times 0 would be 0, and I'm left with 6x. So the steepness, or the slope, or the gradient, rate of change of the curve is 6x. So as I said, rate of change for parabola will always be equation of a straight line. In short, you should see 2 times 3 gives me 6. 2 minus 1 gives me 1. So when we do rules of differentiation, we will do the shorter route. Right, let's look at the second way test. So fx equal 3x squared minus 6x. Right, so that's what's given to us. They want first principle. So first I have to get x plus h. So wherever I have a x, I have to substitute x plus h. So that becomes x plus h squared minus 6 times x plus h. Right, x times x squared. X times h times 2 gives me 2xh. H times h squared. There minus 6 times x minus 6x minus 6 times h minus 6h. So multiply out 3 times x squared gives me 3x squared. 3 times 2 gives me 6xh. 3 times h squared becomes 3h squared minus 6x minus 6h minus my equation that was given, 3x squared minus 6x. So there you should see 3x squared minus 3x squared cancels. Minus 6x minus minus gives me plus 6x. So minus 6x plus 6x cancel. And everything that's left contains at least one h. Right, so you see there I'm left with 6xh plus 3h squared minus 6h. If you contain something here that doesn't have a h, then you've definitely made an error. Right, from there, we'll always only take out h and h as a common factor. So I take that out, 6xh divided by h gives me 6x. 3h squared divided by h gives me 3h. Minus 6h divided by h gives me negative 6x. H and h cancel, so now I can substitute h tends to 0 in. So that would now become 6x plus 3 times 0 minus 6. My final answer here, my first derivative would equal 6x minus 6. So steepness, slope as rate of change is 6x minus 6. So there, short, 3 times 2, 6. 2 minus 1, 1. 1 times negative 6 gives me negative 6. 1 minus 1 gives me x to the 0, which means it falls away. I'm left with 6x minus 6. Right, let's look at the last problem. I hope you're still enjoying the lesson. Please subscribe, like, and right, so yeah, determine derivative again using first principle. So fx equal 3x squared plus 2x. So in place of x, I'm first always going to find x plus h. Wherever I see x, I'm going to put x plus h squared because it said x squared. And there x plus h. This there is x times x squared. Don't forget the middle term. X times h times 2 gives me 2xh. H times h squared. 2 times x gives me 2x. 2 times h gives me 2h. Multiply out 3 times x squared, 3x squared. 3 times 2 gives me 6xh. 3 times 1 gives me 3h squared plus 2x plus 2h. So getting the derivative using first principle, so f prime x equal limit as h tends to 0, fx plus h minus fx over h. Right, so limit h tends to 0, 3x squared plus 6h plus 3h squared plus 2x plus 2h minus the equation I had, 3x squared plus 2x. So 3x squared minus 3x squared cancels, plus 2x minus 2x cancels, and everything that's left must at least contain 1h. So I'm left with 6xh plus 3h squared plus 2h all over h. Limit is still carried down, right? And then from there, if I take out the h as a common factor, 6xh divided by h gives me 6x. 3h squared divided by 3h, 2h divided by h gives me 2 all over h. You see, limit h tends to 0 still stays, right? So h and h cancels. So only when I don't have the denominator 8, after that I can drop the limit. So they have 6x plus 3h plus 2. No more dividing by h, so I can't make the equation undefined. So once I substitute h tend to 0 in, 3 times 0, I drop the limit. So that becomes 6x plus 3 times 0 plus 2 gives 6x plus 2. So very important, you look when you drop the limit, only when I substitute in, and not on that side of the equal sign, on the right hand side. Right, so hope you follow, hope you enjoy the lesson. Please subscribe, like and share.